Some thinking is required. Maybe? Hello?
Oh, Rick roll. God doggone it.
We've been rickrolled?
Yeah, I read a meme that was cleverly disguised as a Rick roll, and I feel very angry that I sat there and pieced that together.
Bruh, I don't like being rickrolled. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
And
Never
it
gonna
was
turn you
a very
around.
brilliant, well, not it wasn't brilliant, but it was on the back of a Kia on top of that, so I should have knew something was up.
My lighting is always fucking ridiculous.
Ugh.
Look at this shadow. What in the hell? What the hell?
Right on the wall. You're
Huh?
right on the wall. You're by a wall.
I know, it sucks. Ugh. I want to move back this way, but then I have no place to put my mic.
Hmm. Get one of those boomsticks.
Boomstick.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Like
do
the
that, and then I could try to
professionals. It,
move a
like,
little bit more this way in general.
just right there.
Love a
It's like,
boomstick.
oh wow. I need I didn't get a
I did not
notification.
get a notification. I'm kind of mad about that.
Like giving my best here.
Yeah, we're on too. I have no notification. I'm not
There it
pleased with
is.
that.
Delayed. Delayed is clearly not denied. It's Thursday, good friends. Good friends. Hmm. There we go. Okay. And all was right with the
Sounding
world
pretty good. Sounding real good.
for now until I listen to the playback and there's some issues. As particularly with this mic, I'm not a fan. And but I don't feel like paying $300 for a I can't hear you, but I don't feel like paying $300 for the what was it, the Shure. I don't feel like that kind of money for that.
Isn't Yeti supposed to be like the second class one? Like, we
It,
both have a
I
Yeti.
mean, it's supposed to be up there, but like all the reviews that I seen, there was like as much as people sit here and tout that I've had better mics that cost me a fraction of the cost, and I'm starting to believe them.
I believe them too. This isn't all
But
it's cracked
before
up
I
to be.
completely write them off, I'm going to say it's two things. Me not having a radio voice, I
You
will
have a
admit that.
sexy voice, girl. Calm down.
You don't hear the playback. I hear the playback when I get ready to upload. There's there's some issues because my voice does weird things, and or I it's that, or it's the quality of the mic, or I don't have good audio mixing, and I admit to that because
I'm not
look,
going to
I'm
pay
not a
for audio
professional.
mixing.
Do this in my spare time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right, y'all, come on in. Come on in. Have some seedy McSeats. It is a wonderful Thursday. If I do say so. I don't know. This is hot. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this.
That's what I said about this jacket. But you know, you do what you
We're
can
here for the bit.
for
Do it for the bit.
the peoples. I will sell. Oh, I will tell y'all. Oh, it still disappeared. Oh, okay. Um, it's like where'd you go? Where'd you
Where'd you
go?
go? I miss
I
you
will tell y'all
so.
like this. It's been a week.
Ooh, Lord, yeah.
Not really a fun week, I will
No.
tell you that. But my week is over with as far as work is concerned because I took off.
You don't work tomorrow? Hey, is that why you got that
Hey,
giant bottle of wine with you?
I had that last Thursday and
Oh,
I went to
shit.
work. That's like, no, I got it because yeah, it's wind down. It's not, maybe that's what we wind down Wednesdays, but it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. So do with that
Yes.
information as y'all will.
I I'm here for that.
But okay. All right. So that looks good.
I still look like an ominous like.
Looks that looks good.
Oh,
Still look this like go away. Go away. Okay. All right. All right. All right. 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 I did that. I did the thing. Yay. I did the thing. Okay. So here's my excitement for this moment in time.
Okay.
Seems like September had somewhere to be because
Yeah.
it came and went like nothing. It literally seemed like it had somewhere to be. And I've been dragging all week. So my energy is going to have to come back up. And this is what I did, good people. In order to do that, oh, I hate when my windows don't cooperate. But bam, y'all like to be mad on the internet.
I know that's
Argue,
not a bag of candy corn.
argue with your broke back parents
Oh
because,
my God, you came here to be a menace.
yep, a
A
whole minute, a
whole
villain, if you
menace.
will. My villain art starts right now. The moment somebody says candy corn is trash,
It's gonna
I
be
come
me.
out
You know
of
what? I'll
I
wait for someone else to say it so I know I'm not alone in this
oh, a
candy
lot of
corn
people say it. I've already
nonsense.
been involved in flame wars on
The
the cook up
internet. On the
on
internet.
the book of faces, and I don't care. I stand by it 10 toes down because I love candy corn
Candy
because
corn?
it's delicious. And y'all can call me whatever kind of bipolar psychos y'all want for eating it.
Okay. All
All
right.
I gotta say is num num
Y'all,
num
please tell this
num.
girl how y'all feel about candy corns before we continue forward. I don't have a lot of news either. I got like no
I
news.
got three news.
You want to go first? Because I'm going to double
Like
check
it's
one more
funny.
site.
No, you got the least amount of news. You go first.
I, I don't like your attitude. You're mean. I was about to say I was
You
going to
know,
look
tell
up.
the person with all of the news.
Well, no, I was going to look up one more website.
Nah, too late.
Too late, I guess. Anime news, nothing. I mean, the one thing I've just been getting is that same thing over and over again. Everybody's lost their shit to it. So, oh, Nippon TV acquires Studio Ghibli as a subsidiary. That's interesting.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know how I feel about it. I can't
yeah.
say. I don't know.
I don't know
I
how
have
I
no
feel about
thoughts
it either.
at the moment.
Anyway, so
Before
I'm
y'all even
not.
ask if I'm going to be doing this the whole stream.
We did not look up Slay the Princess. If you missed the last 5 minutes, it has been a hell of a week for both of us. We
The Slay
are
the Princess.
merely existing at this point. Look how
That's not
slug.
true. I'm doing more than
Well,
existing.
yeah, I'm merely existing because my emotional. I've taken my emotions out of my life right now at this point. God damn it,
Well,
light.
I haven't.
Light.
Mother Nature has called. She demanded some sacrifices,
Retribution.
and that's fine.
Okay, I
I'm
think
okay with that.
I'm alive.
I'm just a little slow on the uptake. Boom, you guys.
I don't know if this
But
is gonna work.
coming, because I'm actually really excited about, like, yeah. So, boom. Plus,
Chakalaka.
I have the one psycho thing that's gonna make me happy.
He
Yeah, I
said
think.
that's not healthy. We know.
Who said
Well,
that?
Spider is saying it's not healthy to shut off your emotions. I understand that,
Oh, it's not.
but you are also a part of my family, and you know how this family can get.
I thought they said it's not healthy. I thought Spider was saying it's not healthy to eat mass quantities of candy
It's not
corn. For
healthy.
this, I am aware.
And sometimes you just have to shut off your emotions because this family that we both live in will drive you.
Pop my collar
Popping
as I eat
collars
it.
on.
That's
All
not
right.
new.
So I have some horrible spoilers. And I'm going to put them in the chat for about 20 seconds and then I'm going to delete it. It is about Jujutsu Kaisen.
No one sees it.
Um,
No one's gonna see it.
and because of this, I'm reiterating what I said. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know how this goes. Candy Corn Menace. That's what your name should be down there. last week I talked about how people were talking, the fans were pretty much driving the Bleach animators to quit.
Mm,
Once again, we have another case of that, but with Jujutsu Kaisen and the way the storyline was revealed on this last chapter. And
mm.
because of that, the fans are DMing and tweeting, Xing, I don't know what to call it anymore. Fucking fuck face. What's his face? Anyway, Xing, tweeting, messaging the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, talking about they're going to kill him. They want him dead. Wait till I get my hands on you, so on and so forth.
What is happening?
And that's right there why. Um,
Oh, okay.
and of course, he's a beloved fan favorite. And so everyone is mad little bitches about it.
I mean, we've talked about creators taking their creation in directions, or even say, okay, but you can't drive somebody's narrative. I get it. Like, oh, well, that's your moneymaker, but we talked about this
Oh.
unrealistic relationships with things that don't exist. This is one of them.
They do need to be in an asylum. You're absolutely right,
Right.
Spider.
Like, that's not a real character.
It's not.
It's not a real character. You read it, you absorb it. If it's part of the story, damn. Kind of like, but I wish Kishimoto had kept that same anger and killed off Sasuke when he said he didn't like him, but
Right.
yet he lives, the bastard. But you know,
And
I
it is.
understand.
And a lot of people, like I said, are there. Like, it was trending on X/Twitter for like, we're on day 2. And then I think it's I'm gonna get you, or we're gonna get you. I can't think of the creator's name for Jujutsu Kaisen, but his name, it's hashtag trending also.
That's
So,
sick.
yeah.
People need help. Y'all need help. That's why I have a pseudonym. I have a pseudonym. I mean, like, oh, well, if I ever do interviews, you're gonna know exactly who I am. I mean, but yeah, but people need to get a grip with reality. That's not a real character. What did we talk about last time? If you love it so much, just go write fan fiction. Go write fan fiction.
Baby, you
And
want to
then
say
he can
hi?
live in all of your twisted, little made up, poorly written fantasy dreams. Not even complicated. It ain't.
Y'all get 2 seconds of baby belly. 1, 2.
You put that away, ma'am.
Here you go.
I'm just saying, people are crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely
That
insane. Like, come on, man.
that
Just let
that interview somebody like that.
right.
Well, I'm gonna murder you,
Cause I don't like
or
the way you
don't let
wrote
me
your
catch you in
story.
the streets because I don't like what you just did.
Right.
Get a
Like,
life.
it's a story. It's like kind of like if you just sit there and read a book and you're like, oh my god, this character is that. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna
I
go
mean, because like, what was it? I don't even remember it being that kind of anarchy in the street when Dumbledore died.
right? And it wasn't even. It was.
Spoiler alert for nobody who's read those 1,000-year-old books. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
you're not
is,
angry. You're enjoying the story, right, Ray?
that's what I'm saying. Because he's like, no, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like being spoiled, so I kind of wish I didn't see it
I'm sorry.
because I actually one of those that kind of like the yo wow, because that's usually my reaction if it makes sense in the context of the story.
Yeah.
So
I
it's like, oh, okay,
I didn't
wow.
spoil myself on that though. I don't
And
know
I
how.
also,
I don't know when. I don't know who.
and I'm not gonna be able to block that out of my brain. And I see when I know major stuff like that ahead of time, it kind of makes me off put on the series. So I can't guarantee that I'm gonna go and watch the series now. Not because I'm upset at the result. It's just that seems like a major plot thing, and you kind of already like know the ending. See, that's why I don't see Ray. I don't read it, and I stay off Al Gore's internet like that.
Al Gore's
I
internet.
know trolls out there
Yeah,
spoiling the hell out of everything.
but
See,
it's
when I was a lot younger, of course I was and you be, but see, trolls spoil. They'll spoil a wet dream. That's why I'm going there. I don't want to talk about it no more. Cause see, gone are the days where you're like on those forums where people just talk about it like they got some sense.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to ruin it for everybody. You got too many people who don't mind ruining it for everybody. That's why when shows and stuff that I watch, nah, I stay to myself. Or I wait till the hype goes down. See, I don't even know
Yeah.
no spoilers for Demon Slayers. You can keep that BS to yourself. If I want to keep watching that show,
Right. But
I
it's
want to know. I don't want to know nothing.
like I
I
said,
want, and I don't feel like it's one of those people be like, well, why didn't you like? But why do I have to stay glued to my television and or laptop 24 hours a day?
right.
That I'm sorry, but I already wear glasses. Trying to make these worse, staying glued to yeah. I don't know. Oh well.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So it's the threats for me that's really just like, come on, man. Damn. Like, we ain't learned nothing yet. Like, have y'all
No,
learned
because we live in a
nothing?
world full of keyboard warriors. And then it only takes one real psycho to step outside the keyboard and actually do something.
Right.
Nail a pipe bomb, do something stupid, and then next thing you know, somebody's been harmed, and then they want to sit there, and then you know how dumb that's gonna be. Your sentencing is that you took a real person's life because a fictional person died.
Yeah.
Mhm. There's no way, and ableist talk or not, you know how psycho you sound if that's what they have to read out loud. You don't sound wrapped around tight, and I'm sorry, that's not an insult, but clearly synapse is not
Yes.
firing off.
Nope.
You that attached, and I understand there are some people who do get attached. I have read books or been where I'm like attached to characters, but I'm sorry, I can associate reality from fantasy. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those kids whose life was ruined when I found out that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Oh
Dear
my
God.
God, he's not real.
Right, that part. Everything they told me,
There's
everything they
no
said is
tooth
a lie.
fairy. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. But
What other
yeah,
trash bag humans do we have out here?
that's like all I got. You go ahead and rock the rest of this news show.
Right. I have three updates. Yeah, y'all, once again, y'all have heard me talk about the cozy games. I got a cozy game update, and it's not Faith Farm. We've moved past that debacle. But this one's another one that I've been following, even though it's a couple of years out. It's not set to be out until 2025, but the
Whoa.
Kickstarter was great and everything. And this one is called Puff Pals. This is Puff Pals
I've heard of
Island
that.
Skies. This is produced by Fluff Nest. If you've seen it, Fluff Nest was a company or is a company that produces stuffed animals, is what they do. They decided to turn their stuffed animals or their stuffed little stuffed plushies into a game.
Oh.
The coziest little roundest little fluffiest looking game I've ever seen.
It's so
The
fluffy on the
Kickstarter was
side.
out for a while and they've blew past all of their goals. So they are, but the news about that is the reason why it's on the news today is it's going into alpha testing. So see if you want to be an alpha tester for Puff Pals Island Skies, then go to their website and see if you can actually get into being an alpha tester. Now, keep in mind, alpha testers are a step before beta testers, so it's only going to be a select few. So if you want to be counted in that number, you got to act fast. And I know me telling you at 7:20 in the afternoon or in the evening might be a little late on the uptake, but hey, it's not my issue. All right. News number two is if you haven't seen it already, you know how I feel about it. You know how we feel about it here on the show. We talked about it last time and we got an update this time.
Oh Lord.
The release trailer for Persona 3 Reload Strega.
Strega.
Strega characters they have their trailer out. They look great. If you haven't seen it, please go to the tubes,
The
pull it
tubes
up.
of tubes.
Strega looks just as demented
Strega.
and worked as before. It looks great. There are some clips of Junpei talking. Um, Trust me, you're gonna want to see it. It looks fantastic. On top of Atlas officially putting out the patterns and the costumes for cosplay for Persona 3. That's also out as well. They
Woo!
actually have an official website. Go over there and take a look. Last but not least, which actually segues.
Nasty.
That's supposed to be like Patrice. But what we're talking about today is there is a hands-on trailery type of demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that only a select elite few got to participate in. They've been bragging about it. They've got the content footage on it, all the 9 yards. It looks great. We get to see some awesome, particularly the chocobos.
Did
Super
you
excited
see?
about
So
that.
cute.
So if you haven't seen it, don't worry about it. We got you covered today. So boom, that's all I got. Y'all got, like I said, my energy is coming, y'all. It's been a week. Mother Nature tried to take me down through there. She tried
Ooh,
to,
where'd you
ooh,
go?
snap. Hold on, y'all.
Friendo. Uh,
Hold
hi.
on.
No, I lie. She got you. She coming
Yeah,
back.
y'all. My bad.
We're
I don't
getting
even
there. We're getting. I think we're
know.
both starting off pretty late. Anyway,
Yeah. No, it's not down. I don't know how I hit that. Oh, that shouldn't even happen. I don't know what happened.
everything trying to take you out.
Yeah, they are. But know what's not taking me out? That's loving me always. Candy
Oh,
corn.
I thought you were gonna say Jesus, but okay.
I mean, yes. And Jesus loved me so much that he put it in somebody's brain to invent candy corn
Ew,
because,
y'all, please
bruh,
don't be a part of this candy corn nonsense. I like your nails, by the way.
my Harry Potter nails came in.
Oh, those are
This
cute.
is the Golden Cup.
Ooh,
Aren't they pretty?
yeah,
I made a TikTok. I was so excited.
they are
And
very
you know how I
cute.
feel about that app.
Yeah, you hate that app. What are you doing?
I made it was the TikTok is literally like 10 seconds long. It got like 800 and some views.
What the fuck? People like
Right. I was
nails.
like, all I was saying was like, I love my Harry Potter nails. That's all. Look how pretty they are. And then that was the end of it. Like
Wow.
literally. And it got like 800 views
Oh my
of me just
gosh.
saying that I literally sang a song and said my nails were awesome because I was excited.
I just want you to do that now for everything. Like, I have some
Right.
Jujutsu Kaisen
Oh,
nails.
not
I
pretty.
have some Naruto nails. Like, all
The
right.
thing is, Naruto has like they have some makeup, but because I can't do makeup, it's not the same as my nails. Now they pair with Glamnetic, hashtag not sponsored, and get me some Naruto nails. Then we're gonna sing about that.
All
Mm,
right. Let's go into this lovely topic that a lot of people are losing their shit over. Um,
they are losing their shit over, and let's help them. In our first ever, you guys, fan theory episode.
fan theories. And
I'm
this
excited
I'm
about it.
kind of I'm getting there. I'm getting there. At first I was like it's just such a deep rabbit hole to go down and I was like I'm here.
It is.
I like it. This is a great rabbit hole.
It is a fantastic rabbit hole. Why? Because the thing about theories is they're neither proven nor denied. I lost my place, so I'm kind of looking off
Oh no,
right
you're good.
things at
Notion
once.
says we starting with the OG storyline for Final Fantasy VII.
We are
So
to give a rundown to those who may or may not be familiar with the story or it's been a while.
yeah. So Final Fantasy VII came out in 1998 in the United States
Try,
because
I
the
can't remember.
PlayStation came out in 1997. It's very old. It is the Final Fantasy that kicked off a lot of Final Fantasy for the US audience. It is a lot of people's first.
It was my
It
first.
was my brother's first. It was my first. And it kicked off, not only that, it kicked off a lot of JRPGs also that people started to get into. I digress. Pretty much, you got our main male protagonist here, Cloud Strife, who is a soldier, which is the name of like their actual soldiers in the Shinra company. And he is no longer a part of the company. He is a mercenary. He joins up with a group of buddies and an old friend of his called an Avalanche, and they are terrorists. Is the best way. Eco-terrorism.
They're like eco. I say they're eco extremists, or
Yeah.
I had a better word that I used for them yesterday while I was writing some stuff down. Vigilantes. That's
There you
what it
go.
was.
They're eco vigilantes. Pretty much the area that they live, Midgar, sucks up the planet's juice and uses it not for good. And so they go around to these reactors, which do all the sucking of the planet's life stream, and they destroy them. Terrorist kind of ish, vigilante ish, extremists.
Right.
And so things go crazy. The world is significantly bigger than what it is. There's big old plot twists on who Cloud really is. We meet some interesting characters. We meet Sid. We meet the Turks. Love the Turks. We meet Eris or Aerith, depending on what version of the game you got.
Correct.
Yeah, and pretty much we're trying to save the planet. Not politically. Just straight out vigilantean.
What I like about the story is it seems on the surface something extremely simple, which goes into something so much deeper. Sure, you start off with a, kind of a motley crew of eco extreme environmental vigilantes who the government is using um, to get the people on their side or to understand by calling them terrorists because they're extremists. That's the word. They're extremists in what they do. You have a story that's simple that literally unfolds into identity and governmental experimentation and uh someone trying to understand where they come from, and then you got attitudes of supremacy and unfolding on and on and on and on, and such this big rabbit hole within it of itself that's so much a bigger of a storyline where you got two people. There's an echo. Where's the echo?
I'm not sure. Keep going. Keep going. I'm
All
going to
right.
try to find the
So
thingy.
yeah, so there's like it turns into something else. So after year, like honestly, this is a lot of people's first introduction into the world of Final Fantasy, even though the game had been out since the late '80s. Not this particular game, but the world of Final Fantasy. There's a history. I'm not giving you the complete history of Final Fantasy, but there are tons of videos on YouTube that will go into it much more eloquently than I ever could about the history of Final Fantasy. However, just know that a lot of people really didn't get into it. And I've said this story before. It just happened to be a summer. My cousin was going through summer school, and she had to wait at our house to get picked up from her mom. In the summertime because and you're like, why your house? Because we lived really close to the school, like really, really close to the school. We were like a couple of blocks over. So of course she would, and at the time my auntie stayed a good distance away. And so she was working. So, she just kicked it at our house. I mean, plus that was my cousin. It was not bothering nobody. So she would just come over with her PlayStation, and she would come over with her copy of Final Fantasy VII. She was like, it's this game that I found in GameStop, and it's a lot of fun. She was like, it's an RPG. It was a JRPG. I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. Because like I said, at the time, me and my sisters were playing, Mario. We were playing whatever was on, our Nintendo or whatever like that. And so by that time, we didn't get a lot of systems after that. I had a Game Boy, but yeah. And she came over with that, and we spent all summer playing Final Fantasy VII to the point where me and my sisters was like, man, I gotta have this game. And so I end up going to GameStop and I bought this with my own money. I was excited. And thus I started my own journey. And this is back when you can name your characters or whatever. So no, that being our introduction into the game, it's been years and years and so many additions to the story. The story of Final Fantasy VII and the world of Final Fantasy VII has expanded so much over the years. And people, as more game consoles came out and more you know, new engines came out and all that kind of stuff like that. People have been begging, oh man, they should redo Final Fantasy VII. They should redo Final Fantasy VII. Man, it would be dope if they redid Final Fantasy VII for the new gen. Lo and behold, just when we thought that, because, and what I like about Square is they never said anything. They wouldn't say anything. They mums the word, lips are tied, blah, blah, blah. Lo and behold, a prayer was answered, and we actually got Final Fantasy Remake, which was only supposed to be an offshoot, just a one-time thing. You was just supposed to get the one thing being just this. There weren't supposed to be the whole game. It was never intended to redo the whole thing. It was just one of those things is, hey, we'll just redo the first part. Y'all like it? Y'all like it. Y'all don't. Y'all don't. Oh, but the population loved it.
And the money came in.
So much so that these sucker MCs said, hey, we're on to something. Let's continue beating this dead horse, because why the hell not? It's the one dead horse people don't mind us beating the hell out of. And thus, where we are today. So, boom, while we're talking about it, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's get into a chunk of it, because if y'all already know, we are, what did Final Fantasy Union say? 100 plus days away from the part 7, which has been confirmed it is going to be a trilogy. So after Rebirth, there's going to be a third part, which will conclude the story. So it's kind of like how this was in 3 discs, except though 3 discs have turned into 3
games.
And
it's not for saying like
one game in 3 very, very massive parts.
Yeah, no, Spider. People were desperate for a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
People they begged consistently for years.
Yes. And for years. So I think they tried to give us a tidbit just to like satisfy us, and then they realized we just like we ate that shit up.
Basically.
So they were like, I think we're gonna have to do proper. Yeah.
So let's get into it. The first part only focuses on, for the most part, the beginning part of disc 1, what we would consider disc 1, up to a piece of the original game, mainly being in the Midgard area or that whole area there. So let's talk about what actually stayed the same. The reason why we're breaking it down this way, y'all will get towards the end. This is where these theories are starting to come in. So what I noticed in playing the game, did you play the game, Onyx?
I played the game up to a certain point that I ended up watching somebody because...
Did you not finish?
I did not finish because, I'm not going to lie, I struggled with combat.
I love the combat in this game.
I know. A lot of people do, and my brain is just not there. So I might go for the gusto and try again.
I started playing over yesterday.
Yeah, because I'm also, like I said, I've been in this hardcore debate about a PS5 because this is a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah. I think I went ahead and told husband this is going to be the game.
That's February.
And by
Don't we get a bonus in February, Ryan? Don't you get a bonus in February?
One that's finally gonna make me just go ahead and bite.
Go ahead.
I literally wasn't going to play these games, but I hate when they force your hand. And it's like
They
something
do.
that I really want to play. And nope, 16 wasn't enough to make me
We're
want to
not
play.
talking about Mortal Kombat. We're talking about Final Fantasy.
No, not Mortal Kombat. No, no, Mortal Kombat was not,
Mentioned
it
at
wasn't
all.
me. Yeah, 5 PS5. So no, what stayed the same? In the Midgard area, the reason why Cloud was there stayed the same. They didn't change
Yeah.
it. He was there. He was gone. They said about 5 years. He came, saw his homegirl, who is Tifa, was a childhood friend of his,
Favorite,
and he is
favorite
now
character.
yeah. I like Tifa's character, but I think I really like Tifa's character in Advent Children.
Yeah.
Think they really highlighted how lethal she is. And not that I didn't like her in the original game. I actually did kind of sort of, but I'm more of the who's the person that I'm controlling, that's who I'm usually attached to,
Yeah.
which was in those original games, you only controlled Cloud or whatever you happen to name him, because no, you good, Spider. So that stayed the
It's
same.
all good.
Cloud's involvement with Avalanche stayed the same,
Right.
because Avalanche's
The
motivation not changed. They
Nope,
still
they're
were
still fighting for the planet.
right, the environmental extremists. And by extremists, we mean that we take explosives, we go to Mako reactors, we blow them the hell up, and we get out of Dodge. And then we sit there because we think we're doing it to save the planet, because the electric company, which is more than just an electric company, who I am doubtedly representing today,
Young
but the
Turk.
you're right, Shinra is taking this energy from the planet, which is Mako, and they're converting it into the things that they need, i.e., energy stuff that runs their whole metal city like Midgard, and they're so proud of it. That didn't change. His Clouds meeting Aerith.
Didn't
Aerith didn't
change.
change. He still ran into her in the church after they got separated after the last Mako reaction, just like in the first game. Ended up at the church. He was there. She kind of nursed him back. Blah 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 blah. That didn't change. The wall market part stayed the same, yet did change, and we'll
It's
circle back to that too.
I will say there's like a plus. It's kind of like it didn't change, but plus.
Yes,
That's how
because
I feel about a lot of things.
right, it was so much enhancement, and I can honestly say one of my favorite parts. Well, there were so many good parts, but
There
we'll get into
was.
it. The dropping of the plates stayed the same, however, so much more devastating
You
remake.
I will say when it came to certain things that were quote unquote devastating throughout the first, disc for OG FF7,
Yeah,
you saw how detrimental some of the things you did and witnessed were actually really horrible
yeah,
in the remake. And because, of course, time and money will do that to you.
right.
It was able to expound upon the that we had like
They
10 years
did.
ago, 20 years ago.
And what made it worse was I remember in the game those scenes where like they had like the news reporting and them saying, "Oh yeah, Avalanche. This Avalanche is responsible. Avalanche is this." And because of like the remake, you can, and they're not like the little pixels here.
Right.
The facial expressions, the fire, the explosion, the rubble. I love that chapter where you're going through a part of the sector that has been devastated and the buildings are down and the explosion, because remember they kept saying, oh, the explosion was way bigger than it should have been.
Yeah.
Blase. and you have to go through the rubble. There's like you have to duck and dodge. There's fires everywhere. You can't just there's not a straight line through the street. You have to go climb up, hop over some roofs.
Right.
Because of it, blah blah. I mean, it was a I personally felt, now you might have some people that can pick it apart and be like, oh man,
No,
me
it's
for me, I was okay, and I felt the like in the moment, the presence, how devastating it was for people in the midst of and the aftermath of an explosion. Like it was great.
when you
Um,
it's kind of like when you saw that part after the explosion where the door to that sector was completely blocked off with the top of the plate and you were just
yeah,
kind of like, "Oh, ooh,
right,
that's I didn't oh,
right.
damn." It
Like
sucks cuz people are dead like flat.
yeah, like there was nothing to be done. Like they dropped the plate.
Yeah.
That's good. The other part that stayed the same was the storming of the Shimmer building. You still have the option in the remake to go through the front door or to take the stairs. I did the stairs, which hands down, I'm tell y'all guys, hands down,
Funnier. It's
some of
funnier.
the funniest commentary between
I
Barrett
love
and Cloud in that game. It was hilarious because they, just like the first game in the first iteration, they make you huff all 100 flights, however many flights, 100 stairs, or however
something
many.
like that. I know it's in the 90s at the very
Yeah,
least.
and Barrett was like, "Oh, Lord, help me, oh Jesus," and he acted so black, and I love every minute of it. And Cloud, I remember taking a picture, a screen, a picture of Cloud, or screen sharing Cloud's face, looking drained, sick, and devastated by the time he got to the top. And it was so funny because Tifa was like, "Come on, guys," and she like outpaced
She's like,
them.
this is my jam right here, y'all. Like, I do this every
Exactly.
day. Where the
And
weights at?
right, like it's so funny. Just for that part alone, it makes it so much better. I don't know on the second part. I probably still will do the stairs and not like bum rush the front.
I know, right? My thing
Just
also is just an appreciation of how they gave Cloud still like Cloud from regular OG Final Fantasy VII.
mm-hmm.
They didn't give him this droopy disposition and woe is me like they did in Advent Children. They
Right.
he wasn't, and when you compare him to the other main protagonists of Final Fantasy, he's not brooding and he's not
Right.
mean and blunt. He just said what he had to say. He was conversational.
Oh no, he most definitely was mean
He
and
was,
blunt.
I mean, yeah, he's mean and blunt, but I'm talking about like court. Court is the word I'm looking for. Like Lightning was. Everything was just straight to the point. He
Yeah.
actually sits there and does have conversations with Tifa. He does have just normal conversations with Eric. Funny conversations with Barrett. It's he seems like a human. Does that make sense? Like he seems normal.
Now I will say his kudos to the writers and the voice actors, because they made his and Barrett's relationship over the course of that first game um organic.
I
It was
loved it.
organic. In
Loved it,
the
loved it.
beginning, Cloud was like, "Hey,
I'm here for the
you
money.
don't, yeah, like if you're gonna pay me, I'm doing the job. If not, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to know more than I have to. A job is a job is a job is a job. I said I was gonna do it. This is what we're doing." Over time, their banter became more quips at one another because it was like mutual respect, blah 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 blah. It was dope, and I actually really liked how organic it was, because it went from, "You said you was gonna run me my money," to, "Hey,
I got
hey,
your
I know
back, big
you're, yeah,
dog.
you strong with that. Like, don't, why you worried about? You already know," or da 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 da, or this, he's somebody you can depend on. So I actually like that. Now, as far as the things that they actually changed in the remake, we got the introduction to the Whispers. For those of y'all who don't know, Whispers are these mysterious entities that start appearing very early in the game. Think Dementors from Harry Potter. That's pretty much what they look like. They're dark, they're wispy looking. They're called Whispers. You don't actually learn what they are until Aerith starts explaining what they are. I love the theories on this though. Someone said that the Whispers were put in the game to represent people like Kevin.
So, for those who don't know, my older brother Kevin, if he does join us in the chat, he's got some things he's doing tonight, but he said he'd hop in, is an elitist. He plays Final Fantasy VII 2 to 4 times a year, the original one, on his
Right.
computer. He puts it on a projector at work, and he plays that game several times a year. He 100% that game several nights of the round and everything, maxing out materia several times a year. The OG one. And he was not a fan, and he wanted me to tell everyone, I don't hate the game. It's not that I don't hate the game. I know everything about the game, so when something is where it's not supposed to be or it doesn't appear, it's just a little. It's almost Final Fantasy VII. That's what he said. It's
Now,
almost.
we'll say this, Kevin, if you wanted your sister to not use that mocking tone, you should have been here to say it yourself.
I'm gonna literally text him and say I'm talking shit.
Right. But yeah, from my understanding, the Whispers are supposed to represent the fandom, the
I
hardcore
heard that
elitist,
theory. I love that theory.
right? That does not want not. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that's what they're supposed to represent. Don't change anything. That's why in the game, their purpose. Oh my bad. Their purpose
I'm
is
going to
to
change my ringtone now.
right. Their purpose is to literally steer the story back on course. Any deviations from the story or anything that looks like it's going to become a deviation to the original story, if you notice, the Whispers will come out.
Oops.
And they will be like, oh, no, no, no,
Wrong way.
no, no, yeah, that's not supposed to happen like that. And they come out and they begin to be disruptive. Um, to me, I think that's a funny nod.
I think it
I
is
like
too. I
it.
think it's definitely worth it. Mostly when Barrett died, and I was like, oh, that's the wrong person. And the
Right,
Whispers were like, bitch, you right. Let's fix it.
right. Like it's almost and I like when there's like clever tongue in cheek in that. Like because you had those people well before the game came out. Oh, they're probably gonna change. Oh, it's not gonna fit. Now,
It's
I
not a
wonder
reboot. It's a
because
remake.
remember, even before the game even was on the horizon, there was speculation. Oh, we don't want you to change. Because remember, that's what like the YouTube videos were saying. That's what everybody was saying well before the game actually came
Mm-hmm.
out was we just want a beat for beat, just updated graphics. Don't change anything.
Yeah.
And I think what people fail to understand is because we allowed Squeenix to milk the cow dry or beat the dead horse for over the years, the story did evolve. I think we talked about this almost like in I think the last show we did.
Yeah, where you have to
Plus,
understand with
people,
Oda with One
yeah,
Piece
yeah,
and
like
why
they
he
think
changed
about
certain storylines.
correct. Like over the
This is
years,
25 years ago.
you think about things that you wanted to say. Oh, it might be better if I said it this way. Oh, it might have been better if I. So yeah, like you want to tell the story that you didn't think to tell way back in what 96, 97. Um, and you finally get around to telling the story.
Right.
So it might evolve a little bit. It might change, but then you got those
And
people.
Not
Like,
only that, because the Final Fantasy VII universe has expanded over the years, now there are certain things that you probably should include.
right. And but you have the diehards like, nope, don't change anything. All we wanted was updated graphics. We didn't want you to do anything to the story. The story was fine as is. And so therefore, they're the whispers. Theory says whispers are supposed to represent the elitists coming out of their troll hole
Get
to
back
make
here,
sure,
troll hole!
right, to make sure that everything stays exactly the same. Um, the other thing that changed in the story was Cloud's hallucinations. Sephiroth were much more frequent in the beginning part of this game
There's a
than
theory about it.
in the original game, because in the original game they happened much later. I think Pro Jared mentioned it. For as badass as Sephiroth was touted to be, you literally only saw him probably twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right there at like the Temple of the Ancients, and then that flashback, and then at the end, we had to fight him. Here,
It's in the first, like,
much
10
more.
minutes.
But that's what I'm saying. He was a much more pressing
I
presence
think it was
in
made
the
it
game.
so much more ominous. Not only that, there is a theory going about around for those flashbacks. They said the ones tinted in green and staticky are the ones that Sephiroth is giving Cloud. Cloud
Mm,
had flashbacks and memories that he was thinking of that didn't have that green tint. Like with him and Tifa on the well. That was just him remembering a memory. And it didn't have
right.
that green tint. The theory
Mm,
is that Sephiroth is manipulating something in the flashbacks that he is giving Cloud. They're not all
that's interesting.
100% true. I
That's interesting, considering that, remember, Cloud was, you know, in the Mako, like with Crisis Core, was showing that he was in there, like, to make more super soldiers.
Yeah, that he had Mako
Um,
poisoning. That's why he
yeah.
was out for 5 years.
So that's probably Sephiroth being able to manipulate because of his connection to it. Because remember,
Right.
he was elite. His signifier was the wing, just like what happened with Angel and the other guy.
Genesis, yep.
Yeah, in Crisis Core. So like, oh, because of that, he probably. So that's interesting. I didn't
When
catch
we
on that.
get to the new trailer and the old, I've got both trailers up ready to go, the two of them for Rebirth. There's another theory that goes with those flashbacks that I'm going to talk about that I'm big fan, big brain, big fan of that theory, and I fully believe it.
Mm.
But yeah, no, like when you guys see the previews and stuff, like remember that there are certain memories that don't have the green and do have the green little border edge and shakiness.
That's what's up. That makes it a lot more diabolical.
It
And that
does.
also plays into, what is it, this too, where it's being revealed that those memories you think you have, Cloud, they're not yours. They're not real. I think in Rebirth, it might. Now I don't know the direction. We'll get to those, this we'll get to the fan theory in a minute. But that's really gonna harp into the what's real. Can I even trust myself?
Yeah.
Because what I thought was a thing isn't a thing. What I realized what was true. So that's really cool. The other thing that they added in the remake was the introduction of a bunch of new characters, particularly like Johnny. If y'all don't remember, Johnny is the redhead who's obsessed with Tifa. But the thing is, you first get your run in with him when you kind of have to save him from some Shinra
Right.
soldiers because he's getting ready to blab about he gets picked up about why his ID was used to get
Yeah.
the explosives and such, and Cloud gets ready to
In
give his game over because he was like he don't talk too much because Tifa said he got loose lips.
I think we only meet Johnny in the OG in Casa del Sol when he's catching up with Tifa. He's just like a random rando.
See, this He's a big presence. You even ran into his parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. You got a character. I make sure I double check. Her name is Kylie.
Okay.
Kylie is a character I don't remember in this at all because I don't think that character
No,
exists.
I don't
There
remember
is a
either.
side quest in this game where you like meet like there's like the Angel of Midgar. I can't remember the side quest. It's literally been a couple of years and I'm replaying it now and I'm only on chapter 3. But in the side quest, there is a particular person who does things in the shadows, kind of like a Robin Hood, if you will. And you end up doing the side quest, and you figure out that it's this old lady that's been doing it, and she's like, "Hey, da 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 da." Well, connected to that quest is this con artist. Her name is Kylie. And long story short, because she probably play it, but anyway, the con artist turns out to be the granddaughter of the Angel of Midgar. And I bring her up because she is making another appearance in the new trailer. So I thought that was interesting. You also have this guy named Roche.
I loved him. I know a lot of people
Roche
hate him.
was irritating to me.
I loved him for the fact that we weren't stuck with Sephiroth's a soldier, Angeal's a soldier, Genesis is a soldier, Zack is a soldier, Cloud is a soldier. We got someone outside of the story to give
Yeah.
his experience of being a soldier. And that's what, yo, he was hella fucking annoying. But that's what I'm saying.
To me, he was.
He
I hated
was.
that whole motorcycle thing with
Oh,
him.
God.
Because to me, it went on longer than it should have.
Yeah, there were certain things in this game that went on longer than they should have.
And I understand the padding, and I also understand that this was all y'all was gonna get. So, at first, this is all y'all was gonna get. His character's okay. He do come clutch when you end up having to, fight. Like, anyway, his character got on my nerves, but it made sense because it's like, oh, like you said, you got a different perspective to somebody else who was also soldier first class.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I was like, yee! Another point of view!
Right.
Yee! That's what I got
There
excited about that.
are a host of other characters. I didn't write them all down. Didn't have, but I like that in the remake, a lot more of the citizens or other people in and around Midgar and that kind of stuff like that got a little bit more screen time, particularly going to Jesse's house when you have to
Yeah,
distract.
that was really kind of
Yeah,
sad.
and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make the pizza. You guys come and visit. I'm glad my daughter's because Jesse told her she was an actress. So it's like, oh, I'll make the pizza for y'all.
All I
Um,
did during that whole entire thing was, first and foremost, they had us linger there way too long and made it real uncomfortable. And you just kind of go,
yeah, with her dad being in the hospital bed yeah,
it was very
but at the same time, it makes what happens later on down the line so much more devastating.
yeah,
As opposed, not saying that we didn't hear, but they really took the time to make you get in these
right.
people.
Not only that, they took the time with the individual characters, Jesse and
Right,
Biggs and Wedge, and you got to spend
right.
time and run errands with them. I think I know why. Like, for those who actually played, are like, we know these people are gonna die. Now you're making us actually like them. Fuck.
Yeah, and I think that's part of good storytelling.
Oh
Like
yeah,
one of the big issues that I had with 15 is like when you had Luna Freya die, I was like,
yeah.
because you didn't spend time with that heifer. Like you didn't go
No.
anywhere with her. The few interactions you had were cut scenes, and then by the time you got to the city to meet her, she gets clapped, and it's like, well, I mean, it's just like the other, 75% of the game. I didn't see you,
Right.
so why do I care now?
Now that I've finally seen that
Opposed
game
to
played, I feel some type of way about 15.
what's about 15?
Yeah, now that I've seen gameplay, I'm like,
It is what it is. Like I said, I played it. It was a thing. It wouldn't be a thing I would make myself do again.
no.
I think once is enough. I can say that 15 does not have replayability at all. Agreed,
You
Dodo. It's
15, you played 15?
yeah, it's a game. Like
It's a
I can't
game.
say I hate it. It's not on the same level to me with 13. And I told you I suffered
I
through all three of those
hate
three, all
13.
three parts. It's a game. I played it. I can't say I would play it again because see, I think I said it before. Like the whole appeal of what happens once you get it is like, now why would I put myself through this a second time? It
Yeah,
just doesn't have the replayability
it
as
doesn't.
hit you in the feels the first time, if it happened to hit you in the feels. And I told you that only certain parts did hit me in the feels, and after that, I told you Luna Freya wasn't one of them. She wasn't one of them. I didn't care. They wanted me to care. I didn't. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe because to me, they have asked that whole thing. But that's different with seven because, like you said, from the beginning, you're around Biggs and Wedge. From the beginning, you're around Jesse. From the beginning, you're around Tifa. And then they make you go on several, like not only the missions, but like that one scene where you have to walk Jesse home to the
Oh,
house she has in Migdar.
she
And
was.
she was like, "Oh, I'm a lady. Oh, okay. But if you play your cards right, da da
I'm
da
not
da."
gonna lie, she is
Hey,
aggressive.
I can respect an aggressive queen. I mean,
That's
is it a double standard? Yeah, because if a dude was that aggressive, but then again, Johnny was, and Tifa was like, but I don't think Tifa was worried about it because Johnny can't get out of place, and she'll just,
yeah. I'm just saying that whole
reverse
Jesse
his
thing.
thoughts.
All I could
About it.
think of that T Pain song. I'm a flirt. Like that's it.
For real, she was hardcore with that.
If she was obvious, she was like, she should have just said, "Hey, why don't you come in my room?" And yeah,
Yeah, she was like, if you down, I'm down. I ain't gonna tell
she
you
was
no.
ready to boogie with
Yeah,
Cloud.
she was. But I read, yeah, she's a terrorist. Of course, she's aggressive. Of
Okay,
course,
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
she.
right.
My bad, y'all. She had to. She was a very assertive woman. The other
Yes.
thing that they did change was what I like the expansion of the whole wall market thing, particularly with the honeybee.
I like the honeybees, and I know some people are
Honey,
like, "Ew, that's gay," and I'm
but
just like, you know what?
I'm glad everybody that I ran into as an adult, I have not seen one comment like that. I have not seen anybody be super aggressive about what happened at Honeybee. I'm glad that everybody I've encountered, whether I know them or not, were adults. Like I haven't read one comment was like, "Oh my god, what?" Like no, like everybody who knows the game
Yeah.
knows that what the honeybee eat, and then the big one never ran into a person who had an issue with it. Everybody I've seen said it was great. It was a great expansion. I loved the expansion. And kudos on them for making Don Corneo even creepier.
Oh yeah, he
Oh, he
was
was
skin crawling.
disgusting. And that was great. Oh, and the with the addition of his other characters, like because you meet some of the people who are working for him, some of the guys who are working for
Yeah.
him. And then you meet this other guy that you end up having to do. I can't remember what is his name. What is his name? Oh my gosh, he had a really simple name too. Silver haired, gray haired guy, young guy, because you had to do a side quest for him because the only reason why he was working for Cornell because Cornell was like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you where your lady love went, blah 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 blah. After she got chose, because girl, she was chose, and she came up missing not knowing what Cornell actually does, but he was trying to get close so he can pick this dude off.
Yeah.
Yeah, great side content. I actually love that part, but that whole part where you actually not only have to go through and make sure that you get the best dress, and I still couldn't figure out how to get the other dress. I still ended up with the
The
purple.
medium. Yeah. Like kind of
Yeah,
like the medium tier
yeah,
dress.
and I thought I did
There
everything
was
right.
like specific stuff, if I'm
Yeah,
not
like I
mistaken.
thought I did it and I'm replaying it now. I'm gonna see if I could do things a little bit different. But one of the most hilarious lines after that is Cloud was like, "Yeah, I know, killed it. Moving on." He's like he
And that's
acknowledged
what I'm
that.
saying. Like
Of
stuff
course,
like the honeybee, stuff like these quick retorts that he had made him more likable, made him more humanized in the game, made it feel natural.
right.
I like how they kept his personality and expounded upon it.
I think I wasn't. Maybe in the beginning, I was kind of worried that they were going to
To
make
Advent Children his ass.
But then I had to remember, Avid Children takes place after he's been through a lot emotionally.
Yeah.
So it would make a little bit more sense for him not to be.
Yeah, but I was just
But
hoping
these
like
events, remember, your whole life or what you thought was a lie.
right. And that's what I said. I was hoping they wouldn't like get to that point. Like we understand why he's there at Advent Children, but there's a lot of sometimes when they do, you know, the 50 billion side games, I feel like sometimes the creators or whoever's doing the script or whatever forgets that Advent Children was after all the events. So
Yeah,
when
it's
you
like,
have like
oh, we
before
like
Crisis
edgy
and shit like
cloud, so
that.
we're gonna keep edgy cloud. And I was like, no,
Right.
Cloud was hilarious in the
I'm
original game. Like to
sweating.
me, he was hilarious in that game. So it's like, oh yeah, keep that part. So yeah, him making those quips, him saying little stuff, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also like the addition of the other, not just Andre, but the Madam, the masseuse.
Oh.
She was great. And then Sam, I liked him, the one that was over the chocobos there. Remember, Cloud had to get approval when they went to go fight in the arena, which was one of my favorites. My favorites. And you actually had to where you got to fight that because they didn't take the Hell House out. You got
Nope.
to fight the Hell House in the arena. So that was actually really cool. The commentaries, the commentary the commentaries, yeah, the comment the people who were doing the host,
Yeah.
they were great in the announcements. That whole scene was great. So I do like the expansion of the wall market. I like the explanation for why the wall market exists. They were like that was the pocket for the deviants that the government turned a blind eye to. We don't ask no questions and we don't bother y'all. Y'all don't come out y'all little deviant world. It won't be no problems. I like that explanation because that's ain't that how it is? You know, hey,
Yeah, we just gonna.
not
It's literally
right,
how it is with One Piece too. We're gonna turn our eyes away from
right.
these certain pirates who are doing certain things. Yeah, government.
Right. Y'all stay over there. Won't be no issues. Y'all come out y'all little, troll hole. There's gonna be a problem. I did like that. The other parts that I noticed were some changes, was some story deaths and some fake outs, particularly with Biggs, dealing with Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse when they did the fight, when they were threatening to drop Sector Seven's plate, um, and that whole thing where they had to run up there and fight, Reno and Rude and blah 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 blah. At the end of this game, when you got the cutscene after all everything, you got the pan through in the bed with the glove and the bandana, which happened to belong to Jesse, was Biggs. So I remember watching that. I was like, "Yo, I thought you died. I thought you." He didn't die, so that seemed
That's
to be
changed. Yeah.
deviation. They apparently there's speculation that Jesse might be alive. That's another theory because he was holding her items. Somebody else said I saw in the Reddit forums it could just be because somebody brought her thing because they were kind of close. I don't know. It's up in the air.
I bet you they all
Wedge is
alive.
also unclear because
He
Wedge
got whisked
he
away.
he got spirited away
He got
because
spirited. They just went whoosh.
those whispers, if that theory holds true, you're supposed to be dead. Let's correct that timeline. We just gonna take you out the picture. You brought it up before. Barrett got killed in the Shimmer building. Wasn't supposed to die, and I remember watching. That's why I don't like being spoiled because when I got to that part, I was like, "How y'all gonna kill the black man? How
You
y'all gonna
can't
kill
kill
the
the
black
black man. It's
man?"
only the first disc.
Right. right, how y'all gonna kill the black man? Man, it's some bunk. But of course, the whispers was like, nope, that's not supposed to happen. We're going to course correct. And that's what Aerith explained. They are course correcting. So he got brought back to life, and then that whole thing right
No
there.
Phoenix down
Um,
necessary.
yep. So that's actually really cool. But then I liked uh when they had to go get Aerith, when they finally took her to the Shimmer building, took her back to that room, and she started explaining everything. She did make mention that some things were set in stone. So here's the while we're still going through it, here's my other theory, or here's my other point I'm going to bring to you. Do you think with her saying that it is the developer's way of saying y'all hopes and dreams? Because as much as the elitists say they don't want it changed, y'all do. But that's the one thing we'll never change. Aerith is absolutely 100% gonna die in every single iteration.
Right. Someone made a wonderful timeline, and I know the biggest two theories right now are like Final Fantasy is on one timeline. They're just pulling a DeLorean going back and forth, trying to. Everyone wants to fix it, you know? And then the other theory is the two timelines are merging for some crazy reason. I feel the first one. I feel that things are set in stone. I feel like as Sephiroth was in the live stream later down the line, he was like, I don't fucking like it here. So he goes back and tries to change a bunch of shit. And Aerith is like, I see you over there canoodling and plotting. I'm going to jump back in my body from the past. And it's a whole bunch of fucking crazy shit. Y'all go watch the one timeline theory. It's
I
wonderful.
actually kind of believe that because she already knows what the whispers are.
Yeah.
Said that, and I know that can be attributed to, well, she's an ancient or she's a Citra, etc. However, people want to pronounce that. Y'all can fight somebody who cares. Um,
Etc.
right,
Etc.
I really don't care.
I already told you,
You
our
know, yeah,
pronunciation
like
when we were whatever age
like
for
when people say
Sephiroth
stuff
was
like that, and
bad.
it's like, yeah, like no, yeah, like it is. Like if y'all get y'all pet, but then again, these are the same people who would threaten the life of somebody who kill off a fictional character. So I
Oh,
don't put,
remember.
but yeah, like, oh, so it makes sense that she's a little connected to those kind of things, so she would know what they are. Buzzy, 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 buzzy. So yeah, like her indication, like well before anybody else, when she sees them, or she sees them well before like Cloud and them
Yeah,
does.
because she's like,
And
when you first meet her, she's just like, ah, ah!
exactly, and there's like
What the
you
fuck are
start
you doing? This ain't Fight Club.
like you good, and it's like, oh well, da 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 da. So I'm thinking, even with that, she probably did something before then. You know what I mean? Because remember,
Yeah.
they course correct.
Right, and that's what the theory is that her and Sephiroth went boop back into their bodies because they're able to do that. They're just their memories and their you know souls, I guess, are in the live stream. So they just said, okay, and because they're Cetra's whatever, they can
Yeah,
do that type of shit. So they both know what's going down. That's why we get the premise that Aerith knows so much more than she's
that's
letting
that's
us.
that's very interesting. We'll circle back to that when it gets down to the end of that other game.
Yeah.
The other thing that well, shoot, it's not circle back to it, it's coming into it now almost with the fight with the whispers, which
Right.
has been destroying the timeline. So when you get to the part after the whole thing with Shinra, which was one of my least favorite, that whole bit when you meet Red 13, buzzer
Yeah.
buzzer, which you
That
couldn't,
was so
couldn't,
long.
it was longer than it needed to be.
Oh,
That particular fight with those dogs in there that everybody said they was having a hard time with. I don't know why. I'm not toot my own horn. I didn't. I just had my
I'm
game
the
on
shit, bitch.
problem. Yeah, like I just have on normal. I didn't have it on
I'm gonna
hard
go
or
put that game on easy and replay it.
yeah. Like I just had mine on normal. It played. So that little part where people were like, "Oh my god, those dogs have no shame," or putting in it wasn't that deep. Not to me, and I'm not trying to be like, "Oh my god,"
Toot your
well,
horn, girl. You're a master pro player.
that, or they, you know how people are, game footage, or it didn't happen. I guess it.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
I remember
But
somebody told me when I played Destiny, I had like a crit of like 50,000. They're like, "You're such a liar." So, you could just like roll it back 20 seconds. I sent it to them. They're like, "Oh."
child, like, yeah, every once in a while, I mean, like I said, I ain't no master gamer, but I ain't trash either.
Right. Oh no, this
But
game made me feel like trash. That's probably why I didn't finish it.
it's a lot. Like I
It
said,
is a
I just
lot though.
again, I love it. But yeah, like that whole fight with them, which is in several parts, because you have like uh three different ones, and you got all this other stuff with these and then you got to fight the big one going on,
Yeah.
and then Earth is telling you like right at the point of no return. You're like right there on the street. She was like, now is the time, like no going back. We go through here, we changing the timeline,
Yeah.
like how things are
And
supposed to go,
that was
it's not how it's supposed to be. But if we go forward, this is altering things.
yeah. Someone else said another theory I came across is that that fight with the whispers and whatever Kingdom Hearts enemy that was at the end,
Well,
that when you stepped into that fight at the top right corner of your screen, it said singularity. So you were no
yeah,
longer in Midgar. You were in whatever dimension the singularity that whatever you were fighting. So a lot of
right.
people are like, "Oh, it's because you were in this separate dimension, you merged the two timelines." Or they say because you're in
I can
this
see that. Considering that it's called destroying
hey
the
tiny.
timeline. What it do, Timey? Considering that it's called destroying the timeline, I'm guessing it's one of those things where if you do something to the whispers, or you take them out, because I'm not expecting to see them in Rebirth because of what we did
Right.
here. Um, it is essentially saying that either we stepped into some multiverse, because we won't have anything trying to course correct now,
Right.
which is what like the directors kind of said. Um,
Ooh,
oh
prayers.
yeah, we talked about it being a
It's a
rough,
week. It's a week this week.
you know, put on something soothing, put
Put
us on.
us on.
That's why we're even talking, because it's been a
It's been
week.
a week.
But yeah, no, like that whole fight, maybe it's because we are talking about the beautiful seven.
The remake, and I'm
We're
gonna show
doing
some trailers soon
fan
too.
theory. Yeah, we're doing fan theory. We're piecing together. We're talking about some good fan theories. We're piecing together some fan theories because the game is coming. The second part of the game is coming in February. Yes. So I think with fighting
The
the
singularity
with
at the end, the
yeah,
whispers.
right, we are basically standing, or and then we'll get to that in that other little part, especially the second part. I think we're stepping into not being set in stone
Yeah.
like it was the first time. So I think our little actions, whatever we do, is going to weigh heavily on the
Yeah.
story. So now that makes me go back and I wonder, like Eris said, is it regardless? Is she
I
going?
think she's
Is
still
she?
gonna
She's
die.
a fixed point.
I
Is I
think she's the fixed
starting to think
point.
she's a fixed point. It does not matter. Like, you know how like Doctor Strange said in game, like I Infinity War, like I went through all
What
of
are there
it.
like 4 billion
Yeah, and
scenarios?
yeah, there's only one scenario. And
Canon event, yeah, from
yeah,
Spider
like
Man.
I literally think yeah, like I think she's a fixed point in time. Like she
Yeah.
she cannot be altered, because I think that plays into like there isn't her. I can't see what well, I mean, not saying that it wouldn't be a benefit, but it doesn't get a benefit if she actually survives.
I think her being a part of the live stream and doing what it did at the end of 7 is necessary.
Correct.
And so her dying and becoming a part of the live stream, becoming part of the earth, is necessary to win whatever they're trying to win.
And then that plays into what happened in Event Children with the whole her raining down and
Yep.
healing, all that other stuff. So yeah, like that, her role extends past her physical form. I just I would be curious if she survived, what that would mean. Which brings us to the next thing that they changed. Your big fight, well, at least one fight, that's my speculation, with Sephiroth at the end of this game, as opposed to the entire game. Um, when you cross it after you fight the singularities, the whisper, the like you said, the Kingdom Heart monster, after you get past Dark Side,
All right, fucking Kingdom
I
Heart
got doggone.
monster.
Right. Like once you get past once you get past him, and you and your entire crew, not just Cloud one on one, you and your entire crew fights Sephiroth in this big fight, which I'm not even gonna sit there. Now, them dogs didn't give me no trouble, but Sephiroth kicked my ass to fight him about 2, 3 times. Like he was hard. Like he was hard. And that's with me having a whole bunch of folks. You got your party members, which in this game, when you fight him, you don't have that after a certain point. But yeah, you fight them and then he takes you to like the void. And then he poses
Shut up,
up
Tiny. Don't start that shit, Tiny. Don't you start your
you know,
shit, Tiny.
yo, just for
Thought you
you.
had a headache.
This is the migraine fixer right here.
Ooh.
This will get you where you need to be at.
Oh my
Sephiroth,
god.
sexy beast.
Sephiroth. Oh man, but
But
that
yeah, you end up fighting him, and then he poses this
Genova,
question,
Genova, 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 Genova.
like Hercules, Genova,
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 Genova, Genova, Genova,
Genova,
Genova,
Genova,
Genova.
Genova. Um, but yeah, he poses this question, and where he basically asks you, you being Cloud, you can make a decision right now. We can write our own fate together, you and I. We don't have to accept what happened before. So he kind of dropped that bomb on you, insinuating we don't have to go down the OG path.
I'm gonna talk about that
We
theory.
can
That's
take
a
a
part of that
different
theory.
path. Correct. Only if you, and then you get this fade to white where you really don't get it until you get to the ending cutscenes where you see Zach and the change that was there, which you got a different stamp, the dog, which is no longer a hound dog, but some little scruffy mutt. And then instead of Zach dying in a blaze of gunfire against a
God,
good soldier,
greatest death ever.
right? He's standing tall, looking towards Midgar, like, okay, well, we're going towards the city. So you already see some changes right there. To me, pretty
I
significant
know my
change.
heart. Oh, Zach is my heart.
Why is everybody up? Maybe because I didn't play Crisis Core. Is that what it is?
We play Crisis Core. We love Zach. Zach was everything.
Hmm. I kind of want to buy it to play, but then like the gamers that I watched, it was like it was beat for beat like
Oh
the
yeah,
other
it was beat for
game.
beat.
They didn't really change anything. They just updated the graphics. So if
Yeah.
you want,
Crisis Core is fun
is
though.
it?
It is fun. Like actually playing it, the roulette, that type of gameplay. There's certain things, of course, that are kind of aggravating. It's like mission complete, mission
You
failed. Like,
made me watch that movie. So
yeah, I did force you to watch that Crisis Core movie.
yeah. So I got the story. So what were you gonna say about the
Oh, the Sephiroth, that's gonna go in once we get to the trailers. All of
Okay.
that revolves in this massive one timeline. Sephiroth is persuading Cloud and stuff like that. It's all a part of it. So when we get past the trailers, I'll talk about this massive theory.
Nice.
Ow. I mean, is it trailer time?
It is almost trailer time. Let's see. No, it is trailer time.
So
But through all of the things that the first part
yeah,
changed
what
in
a
adding to the fuel of the theory fodder
yeah.
of what it is. So hold on to your
What I'm gonna do is play the first trailer, which is like 3 minutes 20 seconds, and then the next trailer is like almost 8 minutes.
well, we're going to be picking apart while we're watching.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to do. Okay, then
The
well,
pause button, like right there.
yeah, I know.
That's not hard.
So we want which one do we want? We want
Do the first one, like you said.
yeah, the first one. I have to like move it over. That's what I'm trying to like. Oh my god, what is my child screaming? Oh my god.
Mm. You want candy corn? That's what it is. What's happening? Okay.
I have one child that her laugh sounds like she's dying, and my
Oh,
fresh baby's laugh sounds like she's choking. So, I I be losing it all day thinking that they're dying and they're really not.
have the candy corn.
All right, so first trailer. I
All
got
right.
y'all. I got y'all.
Buckle in.
This
I'm
is the one
excited.
that dropped 3 months ago at Summer Games Fest. Oh, I hope this isn't too loud. Y'all tell me if it's too loud, okay?
We're still here at the scene of this terrible disaster, caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations are already in progress.
Okay, so hold up with that right there.
Okay.
That's within itself.
The what?
My bad. That's interesting in itself because it's like right there we even see like Tifa and Red 13 and Barrett being taken away on the stretchers.
Right.
Um, so we're assuming is that right after the fight?
That is, I think, right after the Singularity fight. They're talking about there's this giant ass turret. I'm trying to put this in between us so we could talk about this. I'll just move my head
Yeah.
this way. So you go that way, I'll go this way.
That's really cool because it's like, so I'm assuming we're picking up right after that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, the explosion, blah, blah, blah. So I guess that's how they're playing it off, right? Like, oh, yeah, the explosion, how we not get tangled up into the whole thing. I wonder if that's going to, okay, yeah, keep going.
Wow. Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
I was wondering, what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years? Where's he been?
And you're asking me this?
This is gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
I want to bring that up because that is imperatively different. Tifa didn't say shit about Cloud not being in Nibelheim for until we got to Nibelheim. She didn't say nothing about it. She gave
Right.
one little comment when he was explaining things in Calm, where she was like, and that was it. She didn't say anything. And also the fact that she's asking Aerith makes me feel like she knows Aerith knows more than she knows. It's telling.
I like that for the simple fact, yeah, because maybe one Aerith, or based on what we know at the end, kind of hinting that okay, something's different. That's number one. Two, I want to know at this point. Well, I'm assuming at this point, none of them know that Zach is floating around, if he's even floating around.
I think Aerith knows he's floating around.
Okay,
That's
because
how I
that's
feel.
pretty cool. Two, I like that quip better than just hanging that on because I guess they're playing on the fact that we already know, like the people we know at this point, yeah, that what Cloud says he was, that's not a thing. So I like that extraness of Tifa saying, "Hey, you know, 5 years he just wasn't there. I know what he said, but no." Well, I wonder where he's been. What's going on? What was
he
the
really doing 5 years
and
ago?
then Aerith asking, like, you're asking me, like, I think I don't know if she thinks that she knows more or she just sounding off to her friend. Because I like how they added their little extra, relationship
Yeah.
first game. So maybe she's like, so maybe it's like, well, I don't know. Or like you said, maybe Aerith knows.
I feel
or
like
let
Aerith knows
known.
everything.
And it's like, well, I feel like because of XYZ, maybe, or like you said you was in the building, did you see any? Did you see him over the fence? Because you remember we went to your bedroom, the room they used to hold you and your mom in. Do you ever remember seeing him?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So yeah, no, that's interesting.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
The life stream. It is the very essence of our star. The blood coursing through its planetary veins.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them.
Sephiroth was in Midgar. We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what.
You see that green? You saw that? How it got staticky and green when she starts talking. And when we get to the second trailer, I'll explain more about it. But just start paying attention to when we get some of these flashbacks and if they have the green tint and if they don't have the green tint.
Yeah.
Well now, think we woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
Feast your eyes on the Turk's latest and greatest, Elena.
She may be new, but she's still a Turk.
First of all, rude my baby daddy, but I just
Yes.
Keep her away from me!
They say she's a monster. That she can peer inside you. Into the very depths of your soul.
I will say I realized on the boat we fought Genova for the first time. And I like how she appears and we get into this different dimension where we're dragged to fight her instead of being stuck on the boat. That's actually pretty cool, and I'm noticing that from the background.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really, really dope. Because I know in the first game, you got like the Genova spawns or the little cells, and then you.
Yeah. He drops a tentacle on the ground. You're like,
right. And then you have to deal with that. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
That's important.
Reunion.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
So, all right. Anything else on that one before I pull up the next one?
Well, that's interesting because I remember that clip there, but it's like you know that I killed her. So are we trying to say that Tifa's not Tifa?
Like I said, when I'm done with this,
Or are we saying that at that point the timeline already deviated? Because she's like asking questions about like what happened to Cloud, blah 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 blah. You know, Sephiroth doing all this, theorizing, or he's saying, okay, this, that, and the third. You put it together, but we also know that he is manipulating at this point, maybe
yeah.
based on what's going on. But are we saying, okay, well, I killed? Are we saying that, or he's saying, because who else could he be referring to,
Right.
unless that audio clip is supposed to be referring to Aerith.
Right. And that's what you don't know what that audio clip, like we're getting the Tifa getting beat, but we also know he does kill Aerith.
Yeah, like I said, like he knocked her out.
Right.
She didn't die. There was no indication that she died or anything like that.
I think this one explains it a lot better too. We get a little more about it.
Because I'm starting to think that. So I'm starting to piece some things together. Are we saying that Sephiroth is saying to Cloud, what happened here already happened?
I feel like we're on the same page.
Here is a repeat or a different walk because of us doing whatever we did
in the first one. That's what I said. I feel like this is a Back to the Future DeLorean. Biff done came back, done did this.
Right.
What's his face? He's like, I don't like how I ended up at the end of the Back to the Future
so my
one.
Thing
so
is,
I'm going
that
back.
Still don't make no sense if he's saying, well, you know that I killed her, so who is she? Well, sir, I can say that the same thing about you. Yeah. Or I can say the same thing about anybody here. If we're saying that essentially, because it seems like we're walking what we're saying, like, I don't want to say like chaos theory where you got all these branching paths
based on. I don't think we're there.
Yeah, I don't think it's chaos theory, but thanks for shooting me down that fast.
I'm sorry. I'm just like really like I've rabbit holed all day.
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't mean anything, right? Everything's a theory.
Yeah.
So, at this point, it's speculation. Anything's speculation.
Right.
Because now I'm sitting here thinking that, like, are you insinuating things that already happened? Because, not saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to go back to this point instead of making that choice. Well, no, I guess that can be chaos theory, because instead of making that choice to lead down that path, we're going to make this choice, or we're going to do this to go down that path. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's prompting the confusion? Not on my part, like, are you trying to manipulate certain characters or players to get the results that you want?
There you go. Now
again. No, well, you can't say that.
Well, I'm saying you're now joining in on my theory.
Everything is speculation. Everything is speculation. Everything
is
theory. Because, well, no, you have to, because at the end of the day, all of it could be just in the trash. And be like, well, no, we didn't mean any of that. Because I'm just throwing different thing out there, because we still haven't taken into account where in your little plan, Sephiroth, how does that calculate Zack?
Yeah.
How does that calculate?
And he is all up in this trailer too.
Right. Yeah. Well, how does that calculate any of the other ones? Any of the other important characters? Or why just go back to that point? Why not go further? Why not go back before? No, why not go back to Crisis Core? Why not go back before all of that? If you have that ability to do that, what's so important about that particular time? So, it's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So this is the trailer from 7 days ago from State of Play.
Yeah.
The world's ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
So just so y'all know who's talking, that's Aerith's adopted mother talking.
This sky, I don't like it.
Also, I have to just point this out. There's a whole rift here. right there. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's got something to do with anything. I don't know if it's just wonderful graphics, but I seen it.
Don't like it.
Also, this is the High Wing. We get our first glimpse of the High Wing right here.
Ready to fire, sir.
Welcome to the New World Order. Fire! Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth, you say? So you heeded the call too, did you?
What are you talking about?
As you can see, your brothers down there are having a little get-together.
Okay, so can we talk about the chocobos for a second? Are they not so freaking cute?
I like the nod, which I never say his name. Well, you know, I'm not Irish or Scottish, but I appreciate the nod to Kate Seath, which is not how you pronounce that apparently. But like I said, I'm not Irish or Scottish. No, it has a very distinctive pronunciation. I learned that simply because, and I do apologize for those who actually know, it's either Scottish or Irish, and it has a very, very distinctive pronunciation.
I do not know. He's been Kate Sith my whole life.
Yeah, I like the nod to that by giving him the accent from whence the name came. I noticed that the first time I saw the trailer, and I was like, "Oh." But yeah, it takes someone from Ireland or Scotland to pronounce it how it's supposed to be pronounced. Never in a million years would have got that out of my mouth. Because it was like a thing, and there was like, that is not how that is pronounced. And I will tell you, please look it up. It is a fun
looking up because I've been
for someone
lied to
from that area legitimately pronounce how Kate Seath is supposed to be pronounced. It is interesting. But I like the nod to, I like the accent. Because it pays homage where that name actually came from. So I picked that up the first time I saw it. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. Well, I guess in this iteration they didn't show us, but I'm assuming we're getting to see it.
I think so too. The High Wing is chilling on Juno now.
The High Wing is there, but we didn't get to see it. But I'm assuming we are, because we would have to go to Rocket City.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
We got the buggy. I saw the buggy. Why is okay? But first and foremost, what
the tiny Bronco? When I saw the tiny Bronco, I was like,
"This? What the f is he doing on a Segway?"
Well, I liked I liked the update for that area, because it's like, people
I love what he's wearing too.
I love it. Like, people are on Segways now.
He looks like he's about to go tour the Tokyo Olympic.
I just hope they keep the song from Costa del Sol.
Oh, I hope so too. I'm listening to the music on the background, by the way. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I spent, even though there was no real gameplay, I spent an ungodly amount of time.
I know, he's just wearing normal clothes. He just looks like he's just having a grand old time.
Hey, like, Cloud say he has to stay ready. He can't be swim trunks. Like, it was something else in that trailer, in that first part there, that kind of struck my fancy. But now I'm trying to keep a mental note of it. But no, I like the doggone segues. Right around the segues.
He's a tourist.
Giving us the little tiny Bronco. I like those little touches. People all be excited about that.
I'm quite pleased.
Seeing that, but okay.
I'm gonna keep going. Just to remind you where we are talking about the people in the cloaks right now. They're calling them his brothers.
Together.
They're our best chance of finding Sephiroth.
Yeah. I ask because I suspect they're soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth! Come on!
On me.
My face card never declines. You saw that, right? My face card never declines.
Here's the other thing. It was I wonder how much of integration that extra story that we got with Yuffie is gonna play into that, because they didn't give it to the PS4 players. They only gave it to PS5 players. So, and I didn't even bother watching anybody play through it because I was, doing my angry protest. Well, you're not gonna give it to me. I'm not gonna support anybody that's playing it because I wanted to play it myself, and you could have just gave it to me. Blah 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 blah.
I think they did say that this one will be based off of Integrate,
which bothers me. Because now I feel like I have to play through that first when I do get the game, so that I can get that background about why Yuffie was where she was, blah, 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 blah.
They've also said that you don't have to play the first game to play the second game, and I'm just like, really? But okay.
But I don't know why, because your incentive says you get an incentive for doing so. They say you get carryover data.
Yeah, you get carryover data.
Play it, and I know that when I do get the PS5 to play it, I get a free a digital upgrade, so I shouldn't have to start. Yeah, so like, no, I want my stuff. I'm a fan of. But
also Alexander here, one of my favorite summons, man. Oh, looks great.
Yeah,
looks great.
They don't use it. They don't use them enough. I don't know.
I'm a fan of Alexander since Final Fantasy IX.
But I can honestly tell you, though, I summoned very little in this game. I did not utilize a lot of summons. Not a lot of them.
Down for a summon.
Like I picked them up. You had the materia.
Yeah.
It's just I don't remember utilizing it a lot in the first game. This one, they kind of put you in scenarios where you kind of wanted to use them in certain situations. Yeah. So I did. But I felt like you still could have got by without having to.
I'm mostly looking at aesthetics right now. I like the way this Alexander looks. He's giving me Final Fantasy 14 Alexander.
It's probably what he's based on now. Probably.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, the Alexander from 9 didn't quite look like that. But I think they all.
He's still my favorite from 9, though. 9 is still my favorite Alexander. All right, we're gonna continue.
So, okay.
Look! Look!
Excuse me. Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
Right there she is. That's her. Right there. That's her.
That's who?
That's her. That's
okay.
Yeah, remember I said that earlier. Like that character.
Let me see if I can go back.
That was the granddaughter to that's her. So that's why I was like,
I remember her now with that old funky blue hat.
yeah, making another appearance in the game. I wonder if she's going to have another role or a bigger role or play some pivotal part. I don't know why,
Also, the
but
fact that Zack is
she is in.
inside of Midgar now.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. I wonder how much of this Sephiroth knows. Did he know that doing what he did or altering anything is going to affect that? It, because like, does he know old buddy just walking around now? Like he's not like he's like super concerned about what's happening with Cloud, but it's like you do realize, okay, now your actions, I'm assuming, because these are the theory, has resurrected somebody else that in the original timeline had been passed.
Yeah.
So how does that affect your plan now, sir? I don't know. It's just so much.
That's
okay.
a lot.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, said only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
Dancing!
It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
Fucking love it. February 29th.
He said something really interesting. He was like, when the worlds merge, I'll be waiting. So like you're trying to, see, that's that pre-order right there.
You saw that, right?
Spend necessary money. It's like, but I want a winged angel in my house.
Right? Yeah,
Like-
no. See, that makes a lot of people go back to like the two timeline theory. So here's my one timeline theory that I gathered from several people. Everything Sephiroth shows Cloud, when it has that green tinge, is to make him, of course, distrust his own brain, his own memories, right? We know that. But when he starts bringing Tifa into it, I think he's trying to sever the Cloud-Tifa bond, because Tifa is the one that puts Cloud back together. She literally went in Cloud's brain and memory and put that man back together. And if he could sever that, then he can change the course of how things go if she doesn't put him back together, right? So I feel like he's making Cloud doubt what Tifa says. He already doesn't remember what she's saying, right? Because he's like, yeah, Nibelheim, 5 years ago. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. And she was like, no, dude, you weren't. So I think I don't know if that, like I said, this is a theory. I also feel the reason Zack is alive, but I still can't give you guys like why there's two Clouds, I don't have that yet, is kind of like I said, like, you know, one timeline, we go here, Sephiroth's pissed at the way things turned up, him and Aerith are the live stream, he goes back a certain amount of time, and Aerith is like, nah dude, don't do that, so she brings Zack back to try to maybe change things, because Sephiroth is changing things. So I don't know. That's my kind of thing about it. I feel like he's trying to create a disconnect between him and Tifa.
That's making no. I can see the Tifa thing, but see the other thing is what's making this messy.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's
we have a Zack who brought Cloud.
See, I can't explain the Cloud. I don't know what the fuck is happening there.
Midgar, not his parents' house, and just kind of let him chill, wherever the hell he dropped him off at in Crisis Core. He was dragging him around for a while.
Oh yeah, long time.
Dropped him off somewhere.
No, he was with him on the battlefield.
No, like the reason why, no, he dropped him somewhere. He, Where did he take him, or he just let him? Because how that poses bigger problems about how there's like 50 billion bullets, and then Cloud didn't get shot up.
Yeah, no, at the end of Crisis
Okay,
Core,
well, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call it that stupid. But
well,
yeah,
that's how he literally sees Zack, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know who you are,
yeah,
buddy, but I'll take the sword,"
yeah.
and
See,
wakes up.
that changes things if he brings him to Midgar, because then that would warp everybody else's memory. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Because people are gonna be like, oh, because what happened with Kylie? Kylie says she doesn't know who they are
right.
in that side quest that you play in the first game. She doesn't know who they are. She meets them, pulls a con. I feel like if she had recognized them, she would have been like, "Oh, I know who you are."
Yeah.
Based on that, so I'm trying to figure out where that actually takes. So, is that a deviation, or because of them destroying the timeline when they did the
Did they
wisp?
reset Midgar?
Correct. Did that make something else up? Because Aerith makes the statement that, like, when Cloud was like, okay, well, I think Cloud or Tifa, somebody makes a statement of like what happens now. And it's like, okay, it's not set. As she says something to the effect. So that's what makes me believe that I'm not real sure about the bouncing around, but something damn near changed because, like I said, Stamp is not Stamp. He's not the hound dog anymore. He's this scruffy looking dog. That's definitely different from the end of that first set of game. Then in that second trailer, we see Zack dropping him off. So
He has
Kylie
made it
takes him
into
off.
Midgar. And you
Right.
would think someone would
Which means
recognize Cloud by then,
and that's
right?
what I'm saying. So that means that what I'm trying to figure out is what got erased. Because something at this point, if we're following that, something at this point got replaced. Something got replaced. Now I don't know how that plays into now. Sephiroth says, "Oh, when the worlds you know merge,
Collide.
waiting." So it's like, okay, so are we saying that two or multiple exist or are existing at the same time? Then whose consciousness are we following? Because you're saying, well, you know the truth. Okay, but then now that's starting to be relative at this point. Because whose truth? Because we know based on the first game and the other iterations to the side story that Zack dropping you off at Midgar is not a thing. That did not happen.
Yeah.
You're right. Because after his blaze of glory, you're like, oh man, that sucks. Let me get this sword. Oh, I'm sad. Blah, blah, blah. Let me walk into town. And all of a sudden, I got this implant of memories thinking blah, 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 blah. But now it's he got dropped off. Then on top of that, if you remember what Kate Sis said in that thing, he said, oh, did you hear the call to action too?
Yeah.
Your brothers are down there fighting. So are we saying all the people who were connected to the Mako poisoning or the Mako poisoning? Oh,
Have
all of
that
them are kind
degenerate
of
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Zombies now, kind of.
yeah, just marching there because you have this inexplicable urge to just go and merge with the rest of them. Blah 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 blah. Via the reunion, people reunion that kind of
Which a lot of people are saying that the person who says reunion is Cloud. So that gives us 3 fucking Clouds.
right, which means there's not
Too many Clouds.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of timelines, but there's too many people bouncing around.
There's too many Clouds bouncing around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
so now,
sure, every girl's dream, but no.
yeah, that's kind of. This is interesting. So now do we have like are we picking the truth that we want to follow and that's the timeline we're going to fight for? And if the timeline we fight for might not be optimal or ideal for everybody involved. Or is that another tongue in cheek for the developers to be like, okay, well, we give the people, so the ideal timeline is the one that actually happened the first time.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to try to, that's the one that makes sense because everything's kind of convoluted at this point. which I have a problem with things messing around with time because it gets
Yeah,
messy.
it
It
does.
gets extremely messy because in one iteration, you're going to have to change the story slightly if Zach is involved. There's no way you're going to have Zach.
Zach is like this, not necessarily ace in the hole, but he's like the black hole of the issues that we're having right now. In every
That
theory,
part.
why the fuck is Zach alive? Why is
Right,
Cloud still funky?
right. Because this is, if you look at it, he's coming right off the heels of fighting off all those soldiers. Okay. Where we know for a fact you were supposed to die,
Yeah.
but you're alive. They're showing you alive. Boom. Okay. That's not supposed to be a thing. How does that affect Sephiroth? Because how does that not affect Zach? Zach went through the same Mako
Right.
process. He went through the same thing. How is this not affecting him? Is he also having visions of Sephiroth?
Well, that question is answered in Crisis Core because they've already given Zack several rounds of Mako. That was Cloud's first time, and he got pretty much OD'd.
See, I feel like that's giving him a pass though. So why does he get a pass? Because
A
he's
pass
Zach?
to what? No. I'm talking
Of
about the
not
whole
being affected
visions
like
and.
everybody else. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Being
Because
affected
with
like
the
everybody.
soldier training in Crisis Core, they give you doses. Same with Angeal, same with Genesis, same with Sephiroth. They give you doses of Mako throughout the training. And because Cloud was this little footman that got fucked over with Hojo, Hojo was like, here's a specimen too, and says, let's
Yeah.
do something on him. And Cloud got Mako poisoning because it was his first time being exposed to it.
And I still didn't answer anything. Because they also said that stuff was degenerative. That's what happened to Angel and the other ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It signified it was degenerative or something weird was going to happen. That's how they end up with the wing. Like it was
Yeah.
incomplete. It wasn't supposed to be one wing. It was supposed to be two. But because of the crap that goes on with that, then the one pops out, which still baffles me that Sephiroth survived as long as he did. Because the other
I
ones,
think that was just because it was a Sentra.
yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. Special snowflake doing special snowflake things. I guess
And looking like a fine ass special snowflake.
can't say that one wasn't delicious too. I guess.
Gosh.
Oh,
But
I
it's
don't
a
know.
lot. Then they have like the end all theory, which I'm not a big fan of. They're like, oh, anything that has like a background of bright light, white light, is, a example of death. So for instance, at the end of Advent Children, you have Zack and Aerith standing by the door with the bright white light. So they said because when they opened the door to go out into the actual world from Midgar, it was this bright light. I don't like this theory. They actually did die. And what we're getting is the memories.
Everybody wants everybody to die. Remember, they
Yeah.
wanted Squall to be dead.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII is him just
Like
going.
everyone just wants to pull a Lost.
He's dead. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. And then like, oh yeah, the bright as opposed to saying, yes, no, these people lived up under an effing plate, not getting direct sunlight, opening the doors, going out into bright light. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because that wouldn't be effective having nothing over your head,
Yeah.
blocking out direct
They
sunlight.
said it's
Sure.
supposed to be a
Okay. Yep.
metaphor if they actually all did die, and now we're just getting the memories of a
I think
past
that
life.
I think that cheapens a story.
I think
if
it
that
does too. I think,
um
here's your past life, which was Final Fantasy VII, but some shit is hazy because
right.
you're dying. Whatever.
And it's amazing how all of y'all are having the same very vivid, very warped ass dream that all of y'all are key players in, because that's just how the afterlife works. Or y'all are just floating around in the live stream, I guess, and that's what's going on. Like, and I'm not, knocking, it's a theory. To me, if they actually do that, it's lazy. Whatever.
Yeah, it's giving Lost, and it's
Yeah, because it's giving like, oh yeah, like none of this actually matters, and none of it actually counts because they were dead.
They were dead all along.
That's like that. What the end of what's that? I brought it up before. That show, that old show from the '80s. What was it? ER, and none of it happened. It was just in this kid's snow globe. He's just making it up.
God.
and it ticked that ending ticked so many people
Yeah, and
off,
they did it again with
like as
Lost.
it
It's
rightfully
all a
should. Just
dream.
keeping that like one from some 8-year-old kid with a snow globe, really.
Right. He's
As
crazy.
the
Give
story
that
was.
man a job.
Right. Come on. So
Oh
I don't
man.
about that one.
Yeah, I don't care about that one.
I'm eager
I'm down for the
to
DeLorean
see.
one.
Yeah, well,
I just
I
would
kind
love
of
an
like
explanation of why there's three clouds
keeping
now.
things together. I like the speculating. I like saying, "Oh man, I wonder," or what they're gonna do, and blah 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 blah. Because I'm thinking of all the things that happened in that first part, and I'm thinking, maybe they had to come up with a story because they were never intended to extend past that first little part anyway.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, since y'all are interested, we can go ahead and try to tell the story. I hope it doesn't suffer from now it's starting to be so muddled where you're losing the story, because then that's going to make the whispers come back out, i.e. Kevin, because it's like, see, you wouldn't mess the story up. It was fine the way it was. Now you made it overly complicated. Now it's overly complicated for no reason, and it didn't even have to be that complicated. That's how I feel like that's going to turn into.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's like, oh, okay, well, now you got Sephiroth screaming, you know the truth, you know what happened, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I do. But then again, like you said, since there's so many clouds out, how we know he even talking to the one that we're playing?
Right, because at this point I didn't seen three clouds.
Right. He could be talking to another one, because that one that's in the crowd is like, oh, well, he's probably talking to that one. Maybe he's talking to that. Maybe instead of Cloud chasing the other Cloud chasing the Sephiroth, but that Sephiroth chasing the other Cloud.
Pretty much.
For all we know, because that Cloud is in the shadows, like he knows a whole bunch. Yeah. Maybe he's following that one, like, hey, you need to, help me do what I want. And the other one's like, oh, well, my past iteration or my other deviation, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. Let me see what path they're going to walk. And boom, bada boom. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. At the same time, I'm kind of curious.
I'm in an apprehensive state.
To do this story.
Kind of like, you want to have a good story. You want to have something that still technically resembles Final Fantasy VII OG, but you also want the elaboration they gave you for the first one. You want the options that they're kind of sprinkling on you, like they made it look like the Spider-Verse. Maybe the Spider-Verse made it look like them.
Well, no, considering the Spider-Verse the multiverse was a thing in the comics for well before that was a thing.
They kind of did. I don't know. I guess you're going on more of it's going to be more than one timeline, Dodo.
That's how I see it. I see it as
hold tight to my one timeline.
I mean, it's a thing, but like based on the trailers that I'm looking at, and then based on what happened at the end of that first part of that game with destroying the timeline, I said, okay, what timeline are we destroying? I'm assuming this one. I'm assuming that one is what we are tearing up, and we're trying to write something else. Okay. Because
more like Mortal Kombat.
Back in town, I'm more than certain the first person he wanted to go look for is Aerith.
True.
Will he find her?
He found her mom, though, so he is hunting for her, I think. Because her mom is the first person talking, and she's in the background while he's holding Cloud up. Also, high five to Zack's arms for carrying that man for 5 years.
He's a super soldier. And Spider is his dad going Mortal Kombat.
He's a fan. Leave him alone. He's a super fan.
I'm not bumping him.
But yeah,
let's drop.
I know. I need to go. I still haven't watched that trailer. I still have not seen that trailer. But yeah, no. I'm actually excited about a Final Fantasy.
I'm
Which,
excited about this one.
yeah.
Make me buy another console.
Oh,
Which
I see. You keep reminding me I gotta buy another console to play.
I'm not trying to be funny, but they could have gave it to me on the PS4. People that didn't like, oh well,
They
it's not crap. Damn,
they
like
literally like baiting baiting
it's
us at
not
this
going
point.
to look the way they it wanted to look. It looked decent enough for me.
That's what it says. It's like they're baiting us to get it. It's like, hey, you played the Final Fantasy VII. Now, do you want the next one? Well, you need to drop a few bones to get it. But you enjoyed that first one though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Now, I did tell my husband the thing is about as old as our entire relationship. We got our money's worth.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, considering that we pulled the stats that the last PS3 game was made in 2020, y'all can miss me with that. So, yeah,
I forgot when they made the I forgot when we made the announcement.
They didn't release it here. It was released in Japan only, but the last PS3 game was made in 2020.
Because they turned off the network a few years ago too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so now, I mean, finally did, which means that means the PS4 got at least more years.
Yeah.
Like y'all could have gave me that game.
Y'all could have gave us the game.
Here.
Damn.
My high resolution, expensive ass, not toot my own horn TV.
Oh, same.
Would have made it look great.
Yep.
For me, I'm sorry.
Didn't we complain about that? That people are like, your graphics are this. And I was like, no, it's not us or the graphics or the people who make the games. It's your shitty still box TV that you've been having for 10 years. I ain't gonna lie.
Because people will drop that on the console and then your TV is not up to standard.
No, I have.
And it's like, no, you're not utilizing the graphics people put into it.
Right.
Because by that logic, you're going to have to make sure that your television is creaming a crop every single time.
Yep.
So you can keep up with it. But, I mean, we all pick our vices, buddy.
Yeah, don't complain. If you don't have a high-end TV to go with these high-end consoles, then you can take your high-end opinion. I don't play it on my television
anyway. I play it on my high-dollar computer. Great. Not even talking to you people. You people not even in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So,
what kind of TV do you have? To your own horn.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's an LG. Something with the, what is it?
I'm still mad at how much
ULED
the OLED.
Yeah, the one where the blues are bluer than real life, and the
like
green.
We really need more of that in our eyes.
Right, right. Like because real life is so much more real life. You think real life is lower resolution than what we put on this television. It's like, oh,
if I see one more person's pores, I'm gonna lose it on my TV.
Man, I remember, I don't know what we were watching, but I told you I was able to see that somebody had an unclean nose on a show. And me and my husband was like, y'all see it. Y'all ain't tell these folks. I said, that's what happened. Give me the days of the old Hollywood starlets from the 20s and the 30s, because it was so frosted over, you couldn't tell these people weren't made out of porcelain. Because I swear, if I see another rogue nose hair,
oh my gosh, just the
or how many celebrities,
the blackheads
on makeup,
or you could see the lining of whatever hair. Oh my god, I hate my TV for that right now, right there.
I've seen so many blemishes. It's not even funny, and it's like the TV is too realistic. I don't want to see all. Like, let there be some little starlet mystery.
Yeah.
Like the mystery is gone now with all the updated television, and like you said, I can see somebody's crispy nose and bad pores and
if anyone has any other theories about Final Fantasy, I'm very excited about this. If you have any other theories about what's popping off, like, now's the time to drop them in the chat.
Right. Oh, now there is a rumor mill. Don't know
Oh,
if
I like.
this is true. Don't know if this is true. Y'all can't even sit here and throw this in my face and be like, "Nuh-uh, I don't." I'm telling y'all right now. But I, in the rumor mill, I heard that nine was next up for bat.
I heard that
Don't
too.
true.
I
I
heard that
think
too.
I think the that little fan game kind of spurred it. If I'm
Yeah.
being because it looked really good.
Trying to think
Don't
what
know if
our
that's
source
true.
is.
I I'm gonna tell y'all right now, chat. I don't really. Well, I do care, but I don't care. I don't care what they do to seven. But
You are
here's
you
my
gonna take your
troll.
elitist badge out for nine?
Here's my troll hole. Don't change anything about nine. Nine hit good story beats. Now here's my thing. Oh well, Zidane was pretty problematic. Yeah, he was. People are problematic. He didn't stay like that, and he still got the girl in the end. I'm fine with the story the way it is. I like the story of people coming to understand who they are. What am I alive for? What is the meaning of life? What is my existence in this seemingly simple game? The story is fine. It also wasn't beat like a dead horse, so I really don't understand why they would go in and change the story. I would like it if they didn't. The story was fine to me, so they can just leave it as is. But that's just me and my elitist horn tooting. Yep, toot toot toot.
Toot toot.
But seven, I'm for it. I kind of wish though. The only thing that I'm mad about is I can like when playing seven for like the 50 billion time. I haven't played as much as Kevin, but enough. After I learned Red 13's real name was just Nanaka, I named him that when you got the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to name him after Hold. So I'm kind of sad. Like, oh, you can't call him his real name. I wonder if he's gonna say his real name in this game as opposed to still going by Red 13? Is he gonna like when you get to Cosmo Canyon, is he gonna like say, oh yeah, like my name, and then you call him that like, oh, that for respect or whatever and stuff like that. So you'll get a chance to say, because they got little touches. I do say I like that. I like the mini games they got in the gold saucer.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for do 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 do. Oh my god, stop.
Oh, I wonder if they're gonna make us buy that pass like we had to in that first game.
Oh fuck.
Ate up all my doggone gill doing all that
Gosh.
mess.
But yeah, no, that's what we got for our Final Fantasy VII Remake fan theories.
Blast too, because
Very
it's
exciting.
so much and so
The rabbit hole is deep.
yeah.
Very
I'd
deep.
say I think we brought it up earlier, you guys. If y'all get a chance to see the hands-on, go watch the hands-on. It gives you a little bit more. Particularly with Mr. Dolphin and and yeah, go watch it. Introduces some more characters because you got to see like the mayor or the sheriff in the town with the little girl and the dolphin and the thing coming out, and where Tifa really gets her dolphin kick, even though she already got it now. But no, like it's really cool. I'm super excited. It's enough to make me want to drop some coins on a console that's been out for a couple of years now. So I hope they work the kinks out of it by the time I get ready to go get one. Thank y'all expensive beta testers for
Yeah, you expensive betas. Anyway.
Yeah, but no, that's it. That's all I got. It's just a bunch of hype, speculation. I'm super excited. Hope maybe we'll get another trailer.
You think they'll throw another trailer? I think we might get
No,
more.
no. But I heard we're gonna get a demo. So if we
Yeah,
get a
that's
demo,
what I heard too. Because I'm trying to think what other event is happening. Final Fantasy Fest already happened. State of Play. No one gives a shit about what's it called that happened in June.
oh, what was it? Not E3.
Yeah, E3, they weren't there.
Usually happens in June, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No one cared about
that
that.
didn't
I
go
don't
down.
think there's
That didn't
anything
go down.
else.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think
No.
there's anything else happening, like
Oh,
Big Fun Fest or anything like that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
it'd be so dope if they did like a PS5 bundle. You know how they had the God of War PS5s
Oh
come
my
out?
gosh, I hope we get
That'd be
a
great if
bundle would be great of all of Final Fantasy VII Universe all in one place so we don't have to
and they
get the
gave you a
mobile
new
phone
skin
and
on
shit.
they gave you the new skin on the PS5. I would love that.
Oh my
That
gosh, that would be nice.
oh, okay, y'all.
That'd be nice.
That's it. That's what we got.
Some small announcements.
Cool.
If you have any topics you would like us to go through, we're coming to the end of the last quarter of the year, so there's going to be some off days, so on and so forth. What is that?
My ID badge.
Oh, because you're a Turk?
Exactly.
If you have any suggestions, you know all the platforms to throw those suggestions at us. I Hate It Here team. I Hate It Here on Instagram. I Hate It Here team on YouTube. If you need to see the archives because you might have come late or you missed the show, you can always go to the I Hate It Here team YouTube channel. All the archives go up.
Usually next day. I'm pretty good about porting them over the next day. So they are usually raw, uncut, unedited. They just literally dumped right on over. So
We are,
you know,
we might be moving this. Well, we will be moving. We're gonna test out the show on Wednesday night, starting at the end of October, to see how that goes because schedules are changing. Yeah.
y'all let us know.
If it works out.
Yeah.
I know people
a
are
lot of
happy with Thursday more than Friday, but with shit about to change, I can't really do Thursdays anymore.
Yeah. But you know, y'all just sound off. Let us know what's going on. What was the other thing? What was the other thing? We never did a test stream on YouTube.
Yeah, no. I ended up turning the service off because I was already paying for two other things.
Why was that not already included? It's so weird. Anyway, what's the next topic? I can't remember.
Let's
What
see.
was it? What was it? What was
I gotta
it?
get the calendar out too for next. What's it called?
Oh, that's right, because we're getting to the end of September.
Yeah.
September has somewhere to be.
September did not exist this year. I don't know what the fuck happened to September.
Yeah. Oh, it you blink and you miss it. You that was pretty
Shit.
much that. But like always, if you guys
Going into October, we're doing English dubbed ghost stories. For those who don't know, that shit is hilarious. Watch it in English. It's on Crunchyroll.
Oh, I'm gonna start watching them tomorrow because I haven't seen them in a while, and it's I forgot.
It's
But they're
hilarious.
hilarious.
I'm probably gonna rewatch a lot of it too, and then we'll come out with the October calendar. Probably look at a few spooky things, see what we could find out. If you got any suggestions, like I said, go ahead and throw it in the DMs. We will be waiting.
Oh, yep. Shout out to all of my Junji Ito fans out there. If y'all want to talk about a couple of those short stories or some of the stories, I would love to because they're great.
Isn't Uzumaki supposed to get animated? We actually should probably tell you about
I think it
Uzumaki.
already has.
Oh, yeah?
I think it has. Mhm.
Oh, nice.
There's a matter of fact, there's like a whole section on Funimation or Crunchyroll of just Junji Ito.
I think so. On Crunchyroll.
Yeah. So y'all get into it if you're into it. Like I am. I'm more of one to read them than I am for watching them. But pick your poison.
Yep.
You know you like it. All right.
Have
I
a good
need
night. You and you candy corn monster. You're a monster.
Choose violence every single time by eating candy corn and cackling in the face of your haters while they ask you what kind of monster would eat candy corn. And you say, the kind that pops up in your nightmares.
Okay, I have like a random question. Do y'all hear the snoring?
Not really.
No? Okay. I'm just realizing he's getting really loud, so I was like, oh my god, he's been doing this snoring for like an hour.
That's what's up.
I want to be like
Stay
him.
hydrated.
So good night.
All right, stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Stay safe in all these goddamn hurricanes too.
That part.
All right. Stay
Don't do
devious.
nothing we wouldn't do. I have no earthly idea what that is, but whatever. Do it. Let them know.